Alright, everything should be in order. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Last time on Ace Attorney, we completed the first day of investigation in Farewell My Turnabout, the last case of Justice for All. Considering what's going on in the case right now in regards to the fact that if we don't do this in one day, Maya dies? We shall see. Shadow, how you doing, man? Hope you've been enjoying Monster Hunter. Hope your day's been going well. But that being said, though, we did actually end last stream with Maya managing to escape her captor, so this is going to be interesting. This might actually go longer than a single day, I just realized, but oh well, let's go. All right. Let's see how this trial goes for us. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. It's a little weird how we always go to courtroom number 2, but the defendant lobby's number 3, but eh. Spending most of the day watching Phoenix Wright highlights from Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3. Oh, dude. That's fun to hear. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Oh, snap! Maniacal, dude! How you doing, man? Thank you so much for the raid. How you doing, man? Dirt Dog, give a shout out for Maniacal, please. I think he was doing Sonic Advance 2 some more. I was watching a little bit earlier that you were playing through Cream's route. I'm glad that you decided to go through the other character routes. How are you liking Cream? Is she as broken as I remember her being? As everyone from Maniacal's stream, hope you guys enjoyed his stream. Welcome back. Welcome to me playing through Ace Attorney Justice for All. There be boobs on screen. I hope you guys like that. Cream was hilariously broken. That's what I thought. Not gonna do Nux or Tails because they aren't too interesting, dude. Nah, not really. The only thing different between Tails and Cream is Tails is better at flying and Knuckles can climb. That's about it. Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. Oh, minor spoiler no, this is actually a major spoiler warning. We're in the final case of Justice for All, so if you guys want to avoid Ace Attorney spoilers, just heads up on that. Alright. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. Oh boy. Alright, so I wonder if he's going to address the fact that Maya escaped on us. Escaped on him, rather. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya. She's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. Okay, so the real question here is he lying about the fact that Maya's still with him, or she hasn't escaped yet at this point? It's really hard to actually determine the time when she escaped, considering how the usual timestamps doesn't actually tell us anything. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. Any of you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest. If you please. You know, if Ace Attorney was a darker series...
Expertly brewed too.
Bagel, thank you so much for the host. How you doing? Hope your day's going well. As I was saying though, if Ace Attorney was a darker series, I kind of fully expect them to be all like, oh, I sent you Maya's finger as a warning. Wait! Kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh, God. You know, considering the kind of, childish person that is on guard, I kind of feel like it's actually surprising that he would be able to be that snarky about it. Oh, hey, we actually are doing courtroom number 3 instead of 2 for once. That's a surprise. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ongard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Yeah, I also did notice Franziska wasn't actually at her bench. Where did she disappear off to now? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Ms. Von Karma? Why are you asking us? I don't know, Your Honor. What are you getting mad at me for? Does the judge even have a real name? Nope. Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Ms. Von Karma was shot by... What? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. She was shot by an unknown gunman. Yeah, that! That came out right the heck out of nowhere. Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. Oh. Oh. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane! What the hell is this case? Holy shit! Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. She's alive and in stable condition, question marks. Who is question marks? That's good. Whew. Oh, wait. There he be, our edgy poo. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today. It's kind of interesting he decided to take the witness stand for that. You would think that he would be standing at the prosecutor's stand, but eh. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking... Exactly! Why is he at the witness stand? He should be at the prosecutor bench. Well, whatever. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Ah, wow. Isn't that like literally the opposite shoulder that her father was shot in? Whoops. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ongard. Well, I mean, we can at least trust Edgeworth not to whip us, right? Unless he's picked that up recently while he was working abroad. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Like father, like daughter? Are you saying both of them are inherently destined to be shot in the shoulder? Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Gumshoe's working his best. Don't blame him for all your mistakes, Franziska. Detective Gumshoe. Prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. I don't think Miles is going to let Gumshoe get kicked off the force just like that. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah. It would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. That seems strange. Kind of vague on the guitar case part. Definitely going to press that. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. At least we don't have to deal with Von Karma saying, oh no, you don't even need to bother with your cross-examination. We already know all the facts there is. Alright, I forgot I lost half of my HP bar because of my terrible investigation skills last stream. Whoops. I can't even regain my HP because of that. Oh well, gonna have to deal, I guess. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal, the ceremony started around 6 p.m. Ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Matt Ongar's manager. She's a really pretty lady. Sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she'll grace us with her oh my god. Is the judge just going to be always horny for any cute face that wanders into his courtroom? When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ongard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body. After looking into the cause of death, we believed he was definitely murdered, sir. The cause of death? Wasn't that because Mr. Corrida was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here, to this bandana. Banana. Banana.
I love the young people.
How many times we had to teach you this lesson, old man? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. It was banana-scented bandana.
Right, sure. I love how everyone's just going to ignore that banana-scented part. Then, what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Wait, so Kurita was murdered by asphyxiation through his bandana? Is that what happened? Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Okay, so he died from scarf, and then, okay, gotcha. Autopsy report has been updated. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory?
Judge, we don't need your theories.
A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
I mean, some fans are crazy enough to murder their idols just to get their stuff, right? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case was the victims. Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
Guitar case, empty. There is some water, but it's on top of a lid and bears Kurita's fingerprints. I feel like the water is going to be relevant in some fashion, but there has to be a reason why the guitar itself was taken, right? However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well, then where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Kurita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. Huh. Very strange. Very strange.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar case inside the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for his ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Ongard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edward's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. I do wonder about that knife because, like, if I recall, like, I know, like, certain, steak cutting knives, and it did actually look like they were taking the steak cutting knife from, Matt Ongard's room. It looked like that knife wasn't particularly sharp either, so it must have taken a lot of effort in order to stab that into Juan Kurita's body. Although, it does bring up the question, like, why would they even bother with the knife if the police are... I don't know. I don't know how smart the people are in this universe. I'm not sure if they would realize that trying to hide the fact that Juan Carita was asphyxiated by Scarf by stabbing them. I don't know. I feel like that's probably going to be relevant in some fashion, just not sure how. Matt Engarde and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, here's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It's ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Matt Engarde's Hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. Yeah, that knife does not look sharp at all. Like maybe on like one side, but on the tip, not really. No, there weren't any objections yet, Dirt Dog. Don't worry about it. I've just been pressing for information so far. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. I think you're looking for objection count, Shadow.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. The knife bears the victim's blood and Engarde's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. 101 Dalmatians. And there's this button.
It was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What?
Shouldn't be too shocked about that, Phoenix, honestly. What's ripped from his costume is covered in Carita's blood found on Engarde's Hakama.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find a hole in your argument somehow. I don't know why, but just seeing these two banter off each other like old times is just so nostalgic and fun for me. I love it. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Ugh. I mean, I don't think it really matters all that much how pointless our questions are, considering how we won literally every single case we've taken on as a lawyer. But in terms of popularity, Matt Engarde won, did he not? Yeah? But you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carita was always one step behind Mr. Engarde in everything. This year, it seemed like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Carita lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Whenever Edgeworth gets like this, something tells me there's something we're missing out on. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Engarde was beating Mr. Carita in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that, in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, Mr. Detective.
It's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have no motive. Ah, first objection of the night, let's go. It's good to hear old Miles object again. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, that's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! Poor Gumshoe. Like, the one time he's like, well, no, you have a good point, and then he gets it. Poor Gumshoe. You gotta watch what you say sometimes, bud, even though you're well-meaning, dude.
Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony.
No. My poor pension too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Bad times from all around for everybody during these trying times. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's bun. Do you have any proof that the bun belongs to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this bun was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it? Well, shit, I think we pressed the wrong thing. And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. All right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Red. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the events of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it! They're a perfect match, pal! That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It was ripped right off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Ungard's Hakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So, it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? And who lollygags around? It's not like, well, you know, I take that back. I screw around a lot in investigations. Dookie. Defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. I don't think we've ever had a detective or any member of the police department actually be competent. Like, even when we did Rise from the Ashes, I don't think we actually came across anyone there that was actually competent at their job. Hell, I don't even think Emma's sister, Lana, was any good at her job either, now that I think about it. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So, is the defendant the owner of this knife then?
The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. There's no way that this was a premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife. Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove that it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in victim's blood and a knife with on-guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. Let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? Not gonna lie, I didn't see any contradictions in there. Oh boy. What do we have to work with? What's ripped from his costume is covered in Kurita's blood, found in Onguard's Hakama. Bears the victim's blood, Onguard's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. Time of death, 8:15. Strangled with a scarf and stabbed with a knife. I'm thinking right now that if they're trying to say that the knife was the murder weapon, which they're claiming it makes it a premeditated murder, then why did he die through strangling with a scarf then, rather than being stabbed to death? At least that's my current thought process right now. Not sure if that works out in my favor or not. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I'm going to assume... this one's going to be tricky, not gonna lie. Well, the suicide reports have nothing to do with it. The photo doesn't really help all that much, since he does have a knife sticking right out of him. Wine glass, no, that's irrelevant right now. Guitar case, there's some water, also irrelevant at the moment, I think. Defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Onguard's Hakama. Unrelated. As for evidence, there's the gem in Ninja's bun. Motive is not going to be relevant at the moment. I think I do actually have to focus specifically on his fingerprints. Not his fingerprints, but the knife premeditated part. I think I have to present the autopsy report. Well, might as well save just in case. Now, I don't exactly have the room to mess around too much. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably the autopsy report because, like, yeah, he died through strangulation, like it's being strangled rather than being stabbed, so it would be strange with the fact that he wasn't stabbed first. I screwed up. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Well, here I am.
It does. I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Whoops, that didn't go so well. Ooh, I don't know. I don't see anything in here that can prove anything, guys. Ugh. So apparently they found a button in his pants. That's strange, but okay. I don't think that's relevant to the situation at hand, unfortunately. Originally from Maya's kidnapper, that's irrelevant. Lada's camera seems irrelevant at the time. Gossip Land doesn't have much to say at the moment either. Hotel guide map. Guide map means nothing as well. Guitar case, empty. There's some water, but only on the top of the lid. That seems irrelevant as well. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. But technically, he bought it to have dinner. I don't know how to prove that. I don't think presenting any characters right now is going to help us either. Oof, this is a hard one. I'm actually not entirely sure what I can do here. This is a pretty airtight testimony. There's really not much for me to work off of. They were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other was Sky's way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja button, which we only know it was ripped from the Jammin' Ninja costume, is covered in Kurita's blood, found in Onguard's Hakama, aka his pants. Why would it be in his pants? I mean, technically it's like, yeah, that is a good question. Why was it in his pants? We never actually addressed that. Huh. Am I supposed to present this and ask them why? I don't think that's relevant at the current topic. Defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. A button covered in blood and a knife with Onguard's fingerprints. Not even going to the end for asking for Mia's help is going to give us any hints, will it? Apparently not. Let's see. Let me see what he said about this again. There's no way that this is a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. This is some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around either. This is not good. If the prosecution can prove that it's a premeditated murder, we're done for. So basically, I have to prove the fact that it isn't a premeditated murder, but But then we're probably going for an accidental defense then. Like a self-defense thing, maybe? Very interesting about what the detective just said now. Think carefully. The defendant bought the knife, which makes this a premeditated murder. So he bought it? Is that what I'm supposed to present? That it was bought at the Gatewater? Might as well give it a shot. We'll see. Objection! Oh my god. Are you serious? I was supposed to present it because it was bought at the Gatewater Hotel? Okay. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look back at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh! That's what they meant by bought. Oh. Oh. I missed out some really obvious context clues, apparently. Huh?
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before. Gumshoe. You've been spending the last 2 days there. I would hope you know where the Gatewater Hotel is. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Even Phoenix is questioning Gumshoe right now. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. I should have realized. Whoops.
Yes, it's very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? Ah, that finger wag. Can't forget it. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this. Ouch, Edgeworth. But I didn't know. Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Krita's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. Ouch, because I know that's actually true too. Yo, Gaddy, how you doing, man? I miss Edgeworth's smug grin as well. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. It's black? Dude, feel better, man.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Engard. Yeah, I remember that. I remember pointing that out last stream too. Oof. There's only one knife there when there are two plates. Especially what is on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Master Matt Engard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Curse you, Edgeworth, and your logic!
Absolutely brilliant, Mr. Edgeworth. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. I mean, to be fair, we walk into all the traps set by prosecutors in this series. Well, regardless of the fact, hopefully you can chill with the stream, Gaddy.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honor's time. Yo, Kojun, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well today. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
Is this a trap? I can't tell if this is a trap. I mean, not at this time. That being said, though, always rely on your save states. This has to be another trap. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Edgeworth never gives us some room to breathe. Better if I don't say anything than risk throwing out a bad piece of evidence.
Looks like the defense isn't saying a peep on this one.
Which means this court is adjourned. What? Phoenix, we will lose this case if you give up here. See, I better show the judge something quick. Slow down. We all know I have a tendency to be wrong more than... I can't even say it. Okay, never mind. Apparently it wasn't actually a trap. Okay. Well, that's what I get for for falling for one too many traps by these prosecutors, after all. There is one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance. And only one.
I need as many chances as I can get, so... What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
You may not present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
Obviously, the thing I need to present. My attorney badge. I'm so smart, guys! Sorry, right, but this time your bluffing steered you wrong.
I see nothing strange about this piece of evidence.
Womp, womp, womp. Alright, I had my fun. Now, to actually think about what I need to present that will actually help us. Okay, what is super important right now? The Nickel Samurai, irrelevant I think at the moment. I don't think there's any important details on it that matters at the moment. Press conference ticket, seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. I don't think we can present the radio transceiver at all. Like, it's super relevant at hand, but I don't know if that actually matters is the thing. Lada's camera, stolen on the night of the murder, tabloid article about the victim was in the case. I think it might be, I think we need to present something that will prove that Adrian Andrews is related to this case. So it might have to be the magazine clipping. Even though it totally looks like a newspaper and not a magazine. Oh, but give me a quick sec, guys. I'll be right back. Apologies, everyone. Allergies were acting up again. My bad. Yeah, I think we're probably just going to try and prove that Adrian Andrews are related to the case, so let's... You might have to be a jerk and go back on your word to what's-her-face and talk about the thing. Yeah, I hate to do it, but I do. This time you're... Damn it! So it's this is also irrelevant? Ugh. The fact that it destroys my entire HP bar doesn't help either. Whoop. Womp womp. Okay, now that was a proper game over rather than a premeditated one. Alright. If I'm not supposed to set up Adrian, maybe the press conference ticket, because about how Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. Take that! Nope, that didn't work either. Yeah, I'm gonna have to basically go through the entirety of my evidence at this rate, guys. Because, like, there is so much evidence that we haven't actually presented to the court yet that they don't know about. That's the real tricky part right now. Man, I really hate these insta-kill moments. Alright, is Edgeworth trying to tell me to present a radio transceiver? No, Edgeworth isn't telling me present a radio transceiver either. Oh, man. Am I just not thinking hard enough? Like, usually I think too much, so I'm trying my best to not think that hard this time. Because, like, whenever I present evidence, it's always when I'm thinking so hard about the case that I realize what the case is about, and then I don't actually know what I'm supposed to present. Because I usually go out of order for the time of events, so, this one's actually really tricky. Autopsy report has already been presented, as well as the knife, as well as the jam in Ninja's bun. The Nickel Samurai poster means nothing at the moment, or photo. Ooh boy, what do I want to do here? We already presented the crime photo. There's no point in presenting that. Guitar case was already presented. Map is irrelevant at the moment. Is it the wine glass? I mean, technically it was found next to the victim. And no sign it was been drank, but I don't know how that's supposed to be relevant at hand. It's not relevant to what's going on right now, I think. If anything, I think Lada's camera is more relevant since it was stolen on the night of the murder. Take that! Nope. Okay. Maybe I need to stop arguing against myself and just accept it might just be the wine glass full of tomato juice. I mean, it was found in the victim's room, but I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be. Like, Edgeworth is going to be like, oh, what does this have to do with anything? You're bluffing, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Hey, Shadow. One of the tags is no backseat gaming. Just a heads up. Are you serious? It actually was the wine glass. God damn it. This is what I get for not trusting myself. All right.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The face was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. Alright, fair enough, I guess, Shadow. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. I still can't believe I actually was supposed to present that. And it looks like nobody else is impressed by it. Well, what do y'all have to say?
Oh, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No? Because, like, the tomato juice was found in Matt Karita's room. She must have gotten the glass there, and she found the body there. So, no? She wasn't drinking tomato juice back in Matt Onguard's room. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They might just fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves that it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Phoenix, aren't we usually the ones who are bluffing? Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. Shit. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Oh, excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. Of course it had been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Well, that just confirms that Adrian was in the room at the time of the murder, then. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap! I was trying to avoid that too, but Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Karita. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Is Edgeworth really trying to have us try to pin the murder on Adrian? I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover. Give us a grr. I'm sorry, Kojun, but me trying to do a grr would just sound really awkward. I'll do the next grr if that make you feel better, man.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Murgerger. Hey, Bermsai, how you doing? Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness who we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. For a moment there, I thought Edgeworth was suggesting to have the bailiff be the witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Oh. Edgeworth, Edgy, you should have known better than to call her in here. Bayleaf, bring in the Bayleaf? Excuse you? I didn't realize that there was Pokemon in the Ace Attorney universe. Oh, maybe a Bayleaf with a little officer's hat on its head. That'd be adorable. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Gotcha!
I hate you, old bag. Edgeworth, you should have known this was coming.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more than happy to see me.
Old bag, you have a wedding ring on. You really shouldn't be flirting with men half your age. Maybe a quarter your age even. Hell, let's say 1/8 her age. You could use a bunch of steel samurai weapons. Oh god, Kojun.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the wicked witch of the witness stand?
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
I'm pretty sure that she would be thrown on the ground if she tried shooting that ray gun at the judge. Like, even though it's clearly a toy, it might not have been. And that's the important thing. You don't take chances in court, people.
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Scramps!
Yes, ma'am.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please! Anyway, witness your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy.
This is Japanifornia. They let a parrot on the witness stand. Not wrong, Kojun.
Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. This is correct, Miss Oldbag.
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You have a heart?
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look,
To be fair, Shadow, every trial has been a Joker case.
everyone is crazy over that On Guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
You're trying to flirt with a 25-year-old Edgeworth when you're like 70.
I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Carita.
Those two were the same age. Oh, I forgot about that as well.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please, tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Oh, Edgeworth, you're never going to get people to actually say their name and occupation correctly, are you?
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was On Guard, not On Guard. He's trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So, Mr. Ongar came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
Even Edgeworth doesn't think that's necessarily true.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I'm pretty sure what Edgeworth found out is what all the good prosecutors end up realizing about being a prosecutor. But I'll see for myself. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. I refuse to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails.
So you sabotaged building the stage then? She was bad, but I didn't realize she was that awful. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door?
It was something I was interested in finding out, you know.
Something you were interested in? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan.
You realize that just makes you more of a possible guilty party, right? I couldn't think of the right word for it. I just said guilty party because I couldn't think of the word. Criminal? Not criminal. Possible suspect? Yeah, that just makes you a more possible suspect without saying what you were doing at the time, you know.
Ah, and edgy poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on job, made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Not gonna lie, that's not exactly the worst policy. I hate knowing how old I am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
Yep. Most definitely not. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room.
Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. That sort of information has been carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny.
Didn't you just admit that in the freaking testimony just now?
The man that came out of Juan's room. He was.
Yes, he was.
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
God, why are you the most obnoxious witness ever, old bag? Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's rib right about now. Oh, wow. I know, even Phoenix is feeling the frustration.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was On Guard, Matt On Guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yes, say.
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that someone.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Just like how she was sure that she saw Will Powers in the Steel Samurai costume, right? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve deeper into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. his right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling shiny teeth.
His shiny teeth and me? His teeth were shining? Shiny teeth, shiny teeth.
Well, he's shining all around this week's pinup poster, dearie.
This week's pinup. Why do you? I mean, I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? Enguarde's face is the same no matter where it is. You know, you whippersnapper.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant anyway?
I don't think the face matters all that much. I guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Miss Wright, you do know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Yeah, considering how it's you don't have that many minutes left, do you? Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining? You may not remember things or be mistaken here or there. I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? I just realized something. The gem in Ninja Bun was found in Enguarde's costume Hakama. That would mean he must have been dressed up as the Nickel Samurai during this. I should have asked about what he was wearing. But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? Mia, you have way too much respect for the elderly. That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Alright, let's try to press that last one once more and see if we can get some information about his clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are! Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he always wearing, that racing jacket.
Bingo. Ah, he was wearing that in the detention center too. Bingo!
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Are girls really into racing jackets?
I really don't know.
I mean, it's a nice jacket, I guess. Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant to...
Yes. Hugely important.
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
And there's another objection. We haven't really objected all that much, to be honest.
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. Oh, is Dirt Dog not here for the objection count? Hang on, I got it then. There we go.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason.
Why do we allow a liar into this courtroom like this, guys? Especially one that we know is a regular liar.
But if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you mean? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
He is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. Alright, now the question is, what do I want to present for this? Do I want to present the gem and ninja bun, or do I want to present the actual picture of the Nickel Samurai? Considering how relevant it is that the gem and ninja bun was found on Enguarde's costume, I'm going to go with that. Oops, I mistyped that hard. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! The button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Why do you know the number? I really shouldn't be asking this, should I? Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, he really is a diehard fan to want a bun covered in blood. This bun was discovered on Mr. Onguard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that was that rascal Onguard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai kakamuk pants. Oh god. I did not read that well at all.
See? See? And Onguard is the nickel samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Onguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress and—
Oh boy, here we go. I could barely keep up with what she was saying, but apparently she's wearing a CD player on top of her for some reason. What?
No, hold your tongue still for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality?
Yeah, go hang out with some friends? No problem, Kojun. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have fun with your buddies.
But Mr. Onguard, the Nickel Samurai?
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
No problem, Kojun. Have fun with your friends.
Miss Oldbag, this is very important. This is a very important point we're talking about.
Etchy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Ah, all right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. It's supposed to be a makeshift ventilator? What? Oh my god. How much? They never even did that actually explain why she's dressed in this stupid getup? Oh my goodness.
Onguard, Onguard. Yes, now I remember.
Is Oldbag really into cosplay? If she's such a big fan of samurai, why isn't she dressed as a samurai, I guess?
The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Stabbing, eh? I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
Yes. We proved this last year. Because the dude she loved were in the old 60s space shows? Maybe.
Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today. I told you, there is no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
Can we please get a new witness that isn't her? At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
All right, let's see what we got to work with here. On guard, on guard. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything.
I know technically ageist is referring to being biased against people younger than you, but is it ageist to hate people who are older than you?
If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
Oh God, please no, I don't need to bleed out of my ears as well. What? You think Old Bag might have a YouTube channel where she sings to people?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He is the Nickel Samurai.
He's actually singing.
Encore.
That would help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, could you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I will give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay, you promise, right?
Did Old Bag just fall for gum? She really is a child in an old lady's body, good lord. And before her singing is like her mic, Kirby, oof. Right, I will be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Oh no, we have to spend like maybe $1 max. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum.
Better than sending the bill to Gumshoe.
The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, now he's not?
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Oh, well, my dream is to become a writer, make everybody smile, be happy. Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. What?
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
What's even going on anymore, guys? I really don't know. Well?
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that?
It happened today, Old Bag.
And now is everything. You can't be held responsible for the past.
She really is the absolute worst witness I ever have to cross-examine. She's worse than Mo. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? Let the defendant go is in the past. Oh my god. You really are a lawyer, aren't you, Burmside?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
Maybe before Old Bag sing Let It Go. Let it go. Can't let it go anymore. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be?
That way, no one can see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it! Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
You had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after a crime. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja?
course I included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway,
He must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the nickel samurai?
as showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need anything too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. I think it's probably the last one, actually. But, gonna have to think about that one. Give me a sec, guys. Yo, Emrose, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Sorry it took a bit longer than normal one come up. Connection issues pop up. Dude, I'm sorry. No worries, man. You do you. Glad it resolved itself at least. Right now though, I gotta figure out what the heck is the contradiction in this one. Mia said I don't really have to think too hard on this, but it's like, must have worn the steel nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Old Bag is literally the worst witness of all time. That's what I gotta say about that, Dirt Dog. As of now, I don't really have anything that could work with. He had to go to it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-stage stage show right after the crime, you know. I know Mia said that there was a really obvious contradiction, but I actually legitimately am not entirely sure what the contradiction is. Is the contradiction the fact that she said that he wore the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing Juan? If that was the case, wouldn't his pants be covered in blood as well? Decisions. On guard, nickel samurai. That's right, it was the nickel samurai I saw. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Is there something about the costume that I'm not picking up on? Is it the fact that he has a wooden arm? Well, a mechanical right arm? Is that an issue here? I don't think it is, right? I don't think that's relevant at hand. I had to go to that post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Seemed like the nickel samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony show. That's irrelevant, though. Stolen on the night of the murder, a tabloid article about the victim was in the case. Gossip Land's irrelevant. I don't think there's anything about the hotel guide map that's going to be useful to us at the moment either. Ugh, I think I might be overthinking it again, guys. Am I supposed to present Juan's autopsy report and say that he wasn't stabbed with a knife, he was strangled with a scarf? I figured as such it wasn't that simple. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. As I presented the wrong evidence.
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you.
Whoop. I didn't count that objection yet, Dirt Dog. Go ahead and throw that up there. Ugh. Oof, this one's a tough one. Like, the last one was super freaking obvious, but with this one, I'm not entirely sure. She didn't give us much details to work with, unfortunately. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after a crime. But there's no point in presenting this press conference ticket because, like, confess something after a post-ceremony stage show. Am I supposed to present the fact that he was going to confess to something? No, that makes no sense. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Is it something about him not being convenienced by wearing the costume? No, that doesn't make sense. I'm so confused. Oh no, I'm a little stuck on this one, guys. I'm sorry. I guess I'm missing a really obvious detail. Must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbed by poor Juan. Yeah, this is the first time I'm legitimately super stuck on. Like every other ones, every other testimonies, I was actually able to pinpoint something, but this, I'm stuck. I don't think any information on the profiles are useful either. He took the knife to stab him while wearing the costume? I mean... technically, they're like right across from each other. It's not that like, yeah, like they're literally right across from each other on screen with On Guard across from Kurita, so I assume it's feasible. Wait a second! How does it have On Guard's, what? How has he got it, On Guard's fingerprints on it if he's, wait. Please take a look at this.
Yes, so it's a knife, big deal. If you try to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
There we go. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? Are we going to McDonald's? I want my McNuggets.
if Mr. Ongard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Ooh, objection. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Objection!
Double objection. Wait, did we also do an objection for the evidence present earlier? I can't remember. Dirt Dog, do you remember? We did? Okay. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility, smart guy. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and his victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
It's just a theory, Your Honor. So let me get this straight. The Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? I think I need a little more time on this one. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. There's a massive contradiction in here. Why would he bring the knife with him? This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you blabbing about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ongard was the killer. If that was the case... Save. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent.
Take that!
This knife, this was used by Mr. Ongard at dinner. Why would he bring the knife with him if he was just going to go in there without intent? That's very strange.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Oh, I'm so glad I picked up on that immediately. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition one. Supposition one. Yo, Red, how you doing tonight, man? Just going through the last trial here. I assume this is the last trial. No spoilers on that one because apparently I'm supposed to resolve this in day 1 unless Maya dies. And one more thing. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of murder, there should have been glove marks on the knife. Just got off work? Working from home? That's good. Which means the defendant's fingerprint shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would a murderer do such a thing?
I mean, yeah, the frame. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ongard, of course.
The frame?
Aren't you enforcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? Oh man, this last case really is going to throw out all the objections at us, isn't it?
But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume.
And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness?
Looks like I made your life a teeny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Edgeworth can never catch a break.
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at
just
first I
noticed
might
in
have
his HD
forgotten, but...
portrait that his eyes.
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
What? She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Wankarita. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe, Phoenix, maybe the Old Bag was waiting. I love that Mia's not even calling her Old Bag because of her name. She's just going to call her the Old Bag. The Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Are you actually a fan of Matt Ongard? Whoops. You could have waited until the next century and this would have never happened. Oh, busted. I'm a dupe. I thought she knew that the, you know what, I'm a dub. Womp womp. I made a crucial error in thinking there. I am glad I don't keep track of game overs anymore.
It's so top secret, even the translators couldn't convey it.
If she wasn't waiting for Juan Kurita, who was she waiting for? I mean, I have a theory, but I don't know why she would be waiting for her. That's the confusing part about all this for me. What, like, I'm pretty sure that's the answer, but I don't know why she was waiting for her. Yo, Mayo, how you doing? Are you able to hear Caddy on... What? Am I able to hear Caddy? Wait a second. Oh, no. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna apologize to Gaddy real fast. Gaddy, if you're still there, I do want to apologize real fast. I had my headset muted by accident, so I didn't hear anything Gaddy was saying on stream just now. Yeah, that's my bad. Thank you for the heads up, Mayo. Whoops. Yeah, my headset was muted. My bad, guys. Weird thing about my headset, like, my headset is about a year old, and for some reason, it has a setting where it can adjust the volume on my computer. Recently, it actually randomly mutes itself for no reason, so I've been trying to keep on top of that, but I didn't notice it accidentally muted itself, so, my bad, Gaddy. Alright, well, if that is actually the case, then I think we're going to have to run with the, yeah, I'm going to assume that she was probably waiting for Adrian Andrews for whatever reason.
Take that!
Oh my god, it actually was Adrian.
Okay.
Who is this person? And why do I want many more pictures of her?
Yo, Lake, how'd you doing? How'd you lose your health bar already? Because I was an idiot and not realize what, Old Bag's testimony was referring to. And I lost half my health bar because of Psylocke from the last stream, Lake. How you doing, man? Hope you're well.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is,
I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain sauce.
Did you see Edgeworth thing coming? No, I was not expecting Von Karma to be shot. Okay, Gaddy, you're in call now, right? Please say something so I make sure my headset's not muted.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there we go, because, like, I randomly peeked into Discord to see if you joined back into the call. I'm so sorry about that, by the way. I wasn't trying to ignore you, I swear.
Also, apologies if I sound a bit more broken than usual. I've set my mic to be push to talk instead of just, just talk.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it, man.
So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But
What for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I don't really want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready! This is going to take the wind out of you youngins!
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10-year-olds. I do love how it's still playing the toy sound effect, though. Secret information.
That on-guard is one evil man! He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal! So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know it yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody is above gossip.
Can we kill gossip? Can we, like, stop gossiping in this world? I'm really sick of gossip.
And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Gossip is the furthest thing from truth. If anything, gossip is you making up false truths in order to present as truths and make people think it's the truth. And how many times did I say truth in that sentence just now? Probably 20? Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim.
You know what?
it's probably better to pretend it's not true then. So, this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right! On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Wait, what? Is that an old saying? I have never heard such a saying before. Has anybody heard that before? I haven't. Isn't that a really dangerous thing to do, too? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to... The localizers really loved the 80s, didn't they? I mean, this game had freaking references to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the A-Team, and now... Top Gun, sure, whatever. You know, I mentioned this on Maya's stream last night, but the first time I heard Highway to the Danger Zone was actually not from Top Gun. I first heard it from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. Technically, it's shoot, I was about to quote the Spider-Man movie with J. Jonah Jameson about slander and libel, but eh.
But it's true, that woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A.
But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossip Land.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Fake news and all that.
Why do I get a feeling that old bag would vote for Trump? Oh god, why did I bring up the topic of politics in the stream? Please ignore that.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, sure, discrimination is very bad. Let's not discriminate against news and gossip, people. Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touche.
Thank you, Shadow. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that On Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
So do that. Man, I wonder how much a monopoly in popularity would be worth. Probably like, what, $500 if I buy up a few houses and a hotel? You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right now.
Ah, thank you for your armchair therapy session, old bag. I much appreciate it. You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
All right then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
I can't, technically. I don't have any proof, technically. We're 3 games too early for an armchair therapy in court. Shoot, you're right. Gaslighting us, old bag. A little bit. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You're just giving me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Can we break her helmet with a bat or something, please? Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. For you, anyway.
Cannot condone such dirty taxes, I took action. So, what do you mean by I took action? Oh, no worries, Gaddy. It's all fine, man.
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damage beams on my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through that door that night.
My Wi-Fi feels like it has the tension strength of floss, and my mic has the durability of a cattail in the wind. I'm sorry about that, Gaddy. Well, whenever you're able to figure out what the issues are, I really would mind you dropping back in, of course. So, you deal with whatever you need to, man.
Oh, and to stop secret, got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet? If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. It's a secret to everyone. Even if you drilled a hole in my brain, you'll never find out.
Is that a challenge? How in the world did the old bag get such a secret piece of information? Wait a second. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness. I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire secret info, isn't it? You were the one who stole Lotta's camera, weren't you? Investigative reporter, Lotta Hart. Oh my god, who knew that Lotta was actually going to be useful during this case?
Ah, yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
Ugh. No, you see, this is something completely different. Yes, this is my medication prescription. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Oh no, it's a haunted grocery list. I'm not a haunted grocery list, I'm a ghost.
Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Boo, you believe me, don't you? A floating shopping list!
Ugh.
I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only a little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
How is it that they somehow make her even worse than she was in the first game? You really should have come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. I forgive her.
No!
If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Oh gosh, Phoenix, why do you have to bluff when I'm not sure? Old bag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
Take that!
Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? Oh, thank God. I was really scared when I presented it and the HP bar didn't disappear from the screen. I thought I picked the wrong thing.
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie's $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why, witness?
What is it, Gramps?
You have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Grr. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny.
You stole a $1,600 camera. That is incredibly illegal.
Is this camera the camera you're looking for?
That's... yes.
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
Wendy, old bag, Wendy, dear. How long can we put her behind bars?
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
It's not.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos, hurry!
Oh boy, we better... oh, I'm a little worried about what we're about to find inside. Theft under $5,000 in Canada is fine or less than 2 years. Ooh. Well, thanks for a heads up on that one, Burmseye.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court.
Oh. Oh. That's not good.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Well, damn.
What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ongar clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
I mean, it's entirely possible that Global Studios has multiple Nickel Samurai costumes. It doesn't necessarily mean there's only one. The defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly.
Yes, every piece.
Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then
I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess.
This photo that Lotta took. I need to look at this photo a little more clearly. Yo, Luna Amethyst, how you doing tonight? Hope you're well. Do I notice anything? Well, let me take a look at that glove real fast. They're wearing a glove, that's for sure. You going to do Trials and Tribulations immediately after this? I'm honestly not sure, Luna, to be perfectly honest, because, like, I don't know if it'd be a good idea to do Ace Attorney games back to back. I'll think about it. Wait a second! I can see his feet. I can't see his feet here. There is something very strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. But what if we have a Hulk buster?
The bunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're playing to, Mr. Wright?
I'm sorry, what? Anyway, please look at this photo one more time. Oh yeah, Luna's got a good point. It's obvious. The photo's in black and white. It was taken in place in the black and white dimension, guys.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Oh god, I hope so. Well, I had to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? I only have enough HP for one chance anyway. Not wrong, Red.
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Right here.
Take that!
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks! You can see his socks!
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Oh no. Wait. Then that means it has to be Adrian. She's known to be short. Oh dear. Why does it have to be the pretty ones? All right, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us?
If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongar,
Then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think I've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ongar. In that case, who is this a photo of? I mean, I think I already picked out who it is, unfortunately. Who is this person wearing the nickel samurai costume?
Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple.
I kind of picked up on it too.
What you should be focusing on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Look at this graph. You can't, it always makes me laugh.
Take that!
But Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? Well, for starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon?
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. You might even say it's a turnabout. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. Kinda feel bad considering what we found out about her yesterday. Alright, let's go, I guess. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 It appears that this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh?
What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness,
That means the trial will go on for... Oh! Oh no. Oh no. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court! Fudge nuggets. Oh yeah, Maya's obviously an Ace Attorney 6 because she's a ghost, right? That's what happened. Oh dear. I object.
Now then.
Please, Your Honor, please continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she's not. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
Oh, I think Edgeworth knows. He's trying to help save Maya too.
But, we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tisk tisk, unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to Please don't ask me to read that word. Subpionating? Yeah, let's go with that. Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Thank you, Edgeworth. You saved our bacon. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Subpoena. Oh, I know how to pronounce it. It's subpoena. That's a little weird for me to pronounce. Speaking of which, I'll be right back. I need to clear out my nose before I try to pronounce anything anymore. Alright, there we go. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. I mean, he was the one who gave us all the information about Miss Andrews and her, well, background. I'm gonna put it at that. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well, we will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Oh my god, just this beginning part of the trial took me 2.5 hours. Now the question is, do I want to try keep going or should we call it here? Decisions. I normally end an hour later, but if you guys want me to keep going, I'll keep going. I'm just worried how long this is going to go for. Screw it. We still have like an hour. Sure, why not? Maybe I'll be able to finish this in an hour. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I'm still wondering who the heck who kidnapped Maya and what their relation to all this is. I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also have easily planted that blood-covered button in your Hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? And, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. Kind of 50-50 on that one. I'm not entirely sure. It honestly does seem like she's the actual killer, but I don't know whether or not that's actually true. We'll see, I guess. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. He'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? I wonder if On Guard even knows our real name. Will he be able to write a proper check for us by the time we're done here? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. Again, a bit of a suicide trigger warning, guys. If you guys are uncomfortable with this subject material, I apologize for not mentioning it earlier. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it. Even if a client refuses to pay a bill, a lawyer can sue to force them to. Nice! Can a lawyer represent themselves in that situation? That would be amazing. I, Phoenix Wright, represent Phoenix Wright in this court of law in this trial against Max Ongard for not paying his dues. Let's go. Is Juan Carita the victim of this murder? He goes before a special tribunal, oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, that is true. He did represent himself once before, if I recall correctly. I think he represented himself during the fourth case of the first game, actually. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. Oh, was it the second case? I thought he was representing himself because, like, oh, wait. Yeah, you're right, because it was Von Karma trying to pin it on Edgeworth, not on Phoenix. Yeah, you're right, Mayo. I'm completely forgot about that. That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. That was most definitely Edgeworth. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m., District Courtroom number 3. And it happened. Oh yeah, technically you're right because of the way Crane worked in Spirit of Justice. Wasn't it like, oh, if you represent someone as a defense lawyer, you're also putting your life on the line because you're just as guilty for defending a possible murderer or something like that? I think that was actually the case for Spirit of Justice anyway.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
Prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed. I think that's how you pronounce it. By this court.
Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why did I give the Edgeworth the judge voice? Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. Lost the lawsuit and you're sent to the Shadow Realm! Considering how much they relied on the mystics in Crane, I wouldn't be surprised about that. No, my life points fell down to 0! Oh no, not the Shadow Realm buzzsaws! I still can't believe that 4 kids somehow censored actual buzzsaws into being freaking Shadow Realm buzzsaws that send you directly to the Shadow Realm. Just like, and then there was that one tag team duel with Yugi and Kaiba against those rare hunters on top of a building. Ah yes, this bomb will destroy the glass ceiling, plunging whoever falls down into the Shadow Realm. Oh yeah, falling into the Shadow Realm portal. Hell, oh man. I'm actually surprised they never actually censored how... Actually, I think they actually did censor how Bandit Keith was ejected from Duelist Kingdom that one time. Like how like when he tried to threaten Pegasus with an invisible gun and then he just got sent plummeting down a trap door. I always remember the abridged version of that where he shouts "in America" right before he lands in the water too. That was a good one. Don't make us use these finger pistols.
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ongard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. No, I'm not actually Samus Aran.
Finger gun and falling down a trap hole is classic Team Rocket, so it's fine. Oh boy.
And I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all the work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Kurita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter? Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Someone actually tested Kaiba jamming the guns using cards. It would work. What? You can actually jam cards with Yu-Gi-Oh cards? But it would punch a hole in the card. Aw, man. Imagine if Kaiba threw his precious blue eyes into the gun then to do that. Oh no! My blue eyes has a hole in it! And there's only 3 in the entire world! No! I actually would be even really bad because would the dual discs even be able to read the card at that point? I would imagine that they're able to read the card based on whatever print is on the backside of it or whatever. About what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. When I found the body. Alright, let's see what Samus has to say about all this.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And then there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Watch as Kaiba ends up summoning a blue eyes with a 300 attack points as a result. Oh my god. Oh.
You poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scenes of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer. She has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing? Should we remove her pacemaker? I doubt she has one.
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand?
That's a huge butt bagel.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room.
And what was Mr. Ongar doing at the time?
He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Enguarde did say he was taking a nap.
Then, I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me? What are you?
Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. You can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Enguarde's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, noun, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Considering how many typo mistakes there are in this series, I wonder if the writers know the same as well. Oh gosh, I am stumbling all over myself. I apologize, everyone.
After that, I went to Juan's room.
And why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes.
So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon? What are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim.
Sorry, I didn't have any such intentions in my mind at that time.
Dang it. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? There was his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? Phoenix? What? You know what? That's on me for actually pressing this, to be fair.
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. Despite how close they were, I thought she had romantic feelings for Mr. Garita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, everyone would be horrified by a body that's missing their soul that was sent to the Shadow Realm, right? I mean, almost the exact same thing happened to my Valentine. Everyone's so worried about her. They had to rescue her before she drowned in sand. I guess that's what the Shadow Realm does to you. They drown you in sand. Oh god, that's actually really gruesome. You can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow I don't think the beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in crime photo. This is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like this too.
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then, what did you do next, witness?
I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There was no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
But you poured it for yourself. What? Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock. That's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. Man, Edgeworth, I thought you prepped her for this type of situation.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Also, I wasn't expecting her to actually wear light blue pants. I don't know, for some reason I was thinking she was wearing a blue miniskirt dress the entire time. Yeah.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo?
This mess of glass shards?
This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Why did you hold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Questionable. Very questionable.
I was the one who knocked over the flower vase where it fell on the guitar case.
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take one's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. Vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is some very strong decisive evidence.
I think it's probably going to have to be something to do with the guitar case. Well, for one thing, obviously there's some water, but only on top of the lid, so that must be when she broke the vase on top of the guitar case. But wait a second. Why is the guitar case open?
Objection!
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes?
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case.
What is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass jar should be inside, not outside the case.
Objection!
What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time when the vase was knocked over? Is that all? Oh boy, here comes the objection train. Let's go. No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Grr.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
That may well be, however...
The empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, does it?
I think I already figured out what's going on. Ooh, 116? Jesus, are we going to be able to hit the 200 mark like we did with the first game? I don't think so at this rate.
It does seem that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
All out offensive. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. People told me that this is the final case of Justice for All, I believe. I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked over the vase, knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
What do you mean even you don't know? It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. Judge? What do you mean it's not important, the fact that she opened the guitar case for no reason?
Just wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the subject. A convenient escape for a weak man. Ah, confidence. A poor substitute for intelligence. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. The fact that I'm working through this entire trial right now with 1 HP, I'm a little concerned. I mean, I can save anytime I want. I'm just worried about how often I'm going to need to mash through all the text boxes. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side is taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me. Wait a second. Oh no. Are we making her admit to things that she didn't actually do because of her dependent nature? Are we going to accidentally force her to admit that she committed a murder that she didn't actually do? Or did she actually kill him? I'm actually genuinely not sure. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. So you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Oh no. This got a little more tricky and a little more worrying. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic. It's not a big deal though, alright? The case was empty after all. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. That's already proven false. The red guitar was back at the studio.
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio.
Yeah, I remember.
These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry. I just want to press them because I like lore dubs and dialogue.
Hold it!
Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. We are here for the lore. Exactly, Dirt Dog. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford her to let up on her now. Wasn't planning on it. She's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. Do I have to make the assumption now about the suicide note? Is that a big deal though? The case was empty after all. I suppose I must have knocked it over. I think we know?
Objection!
Nope, and there goes my HP. And that's why I had to save earlier, didn't I? Even the judge is lecturing you on your spotty memory. Considering how the judge forgets almost everything, that's real hypocritical of you, judge. That was a big goof on my part. Alright, let's try that once more with feeling. Okay, well, if it's not me presenting the suicide, like, I know why she opened the case. She was probably looking for Celeste's suicide note. But, like, if I'm not supposed to present that right now, what am I supposed to present? There's some water. We already talked about that. We already explained the wine glass. There has to be a reason why she decided to open it. Am I supposed to present a profile, maybe? I don't think I'm supposed to present, like, the court record, right? Do I want a hint? I'll take a small one, sure. Got mild anxiety. Oh, dude, no problem, man. Go rest up. Dude, please, feel better, alright? Take care of yourself. I'll catch you later, Gaddy. You claim she touched the case. Can that be proven? Huh. Wait a second, only bears Karina's fingerprints then. Shoot, I completely missed that important part of the... Well, shoot. I think that hint basically gave away everything, Red. Alright, so I'm actually supposed to present this because it only has Kurita's fingerprints on it. Whoops. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. We're kind of leading her on. Nah, it's alright, Red. It's all good. Honestly, that's on me. I'm not blaming you at all. That's more on me for not realizing it because it was so obvious. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Oh my god, Phoenix, we're not the great Ace Attorney right now. That's another game. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Ah.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left. You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? Well, why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Miss Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
That's strange. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove that I was not wearing gloves at the time? Oh yeah, right, the wine glass! Fingerprints, bro! I have your proof right here, this wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh snap! Well, that's a reaction. Her glasses literally shatter in shock and she has to replace them? That's amazing. That's a really good animation. I love it. Order, order! Her glasses freaking break and she just puts on a new pair. Oh man, how many does she have to go through? Because this is in America, there's probably a few hundred per time the animation happens, right? Dude, yeah, a pair of glasses are really expensive, honestly. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar... Well, actually, I think my glasses are actually $50 pairs of glasses, but considering she's a big TV show manager, I guess she probably has more expensive glasses, if I were to imagine. Although, I'm legitimately curious how the heck her glasses, like, explode anyway. Or she secretly shops at Walmart. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm wondering if maybe she was clenching her eyebrows so hard it somehow shattered the glass. Excess tension? Maybe. I believe that the guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. Phoenix, I realized a while ago now that she was probably thinking that suicide note was inside of the guitar case. What was in the guitar case? I was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? I knew it, guys! Wait, that's not right either. But I admit, it would be unnatural for someone to do that. It would also be unnatural to break your freaking glasses by clenching your eyebrows hard enough. So, the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact it was on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. Wait, the case is closed? Okay, case is closed, trial's over, Maya's dead. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case had anything at all to do with this murder. Case closed, Maya's dead, bring in the dancing lobsters. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar?
So you intend to put your theory that the case was not empty, is that it, right? Oh God, I love Edgeworth cutting off the judge like that. He does not skip a beat at all, it's so good. I would say something that I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours, you haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have at it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Well, it's obviously not Lotta's camera. It's not the radio transceiver.
I don't know if this is going to be it, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, thank God I'm right. And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one?
Why, Mr. Wright? Why?
Why? Why, God? Why? Well,
I just thought it might have been impossible.
I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that into the void where— oh, I thought I was right. Oops.
Farewell, last HP bar.
I thought for sure it was actually going to be the suicide note. Well, good thing I didn't save over my previous file. That would have been really bad. Oh God, it put us all the way back here? All right.
Objection!
Time to mash. Aggressive mashing, everyone. All right, well, while this is going on, I guess I should probably be thinking about what piece of evidence I should actually prove that was inside the case. If it's not going to be the if it's not going to be the suicide note, then what could it be then? It can't be the press conference ticket, obviously. Photo means nothing. The radio transceiver, question marks. Not Lotta's camera. It's not the gossip article. Guide map means nothing. Guitar case, not the wine glass. I don't think we have anything that can prove that was inside of the case. Pondering, I'm pondering. Think. Think. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Well, obviously it's our attorney badge. No. It can't be the Nickel Samurai photo because Maya was the one who gave it to me. It can't be the press conference ticket. We got that from Will Powers. It's not the radio transceiver because we're literally holding it in our hands. Lada's camera is with Old Mag. The magazine clipping is unrelated. Hotel guide map, no. I think I can figure this one out, but like, that's the real question, isn't it? Jammin' Ninja's bun. Why would the Jammin' Ninja bun be in there? That makes no sense. It wouldn't have been in there. It can't be the knife either, because the knife was embedded in the body. No way! Are you serious? Okay, I'm not sure. I think it's either one of these two, but I'm not 100% on that, so let's see if it works.
Take that!
Oh my god, I was right! It's the costume, really?
This is a photograph.
Yes, but what's mattered is on this graph. Every time I look at it, it makes me laugh. Yes, but what is important is what is on that picture, Your Honor.
In this picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai! The hero's very own costume! What? Even Edgeworth knows that that was a huge leap in presumption.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to be doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she can make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? I don't think I do. That's why I'm saving. Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we wandered into another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix. Oh my god, that was a hell of a leap. I was so not sure on that one. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. And then that's why we only have 1 HP bar. Yay!
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Onguard's. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True. That is a little baffling. That's why I wasn't sure about that. Why would it be in there and why would he store it there?
Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I'm sure I'd like to see what I pull out of my ass too, Your Honor.
What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It can't have been stolen from Onguard, because Onguard was sleeping at the time. I think it was a spare costume. Mr. Enguarde did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. Yeah, it had to be. What?
But are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 nickel samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
That would mean that the victim himself had brought his spare. This spare one to the ceremony on purpose.
But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Gemin Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the nickel samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And there lies the sticking point.
Objection!
Oh God, Miles, you have every right to be mad. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all the time without any sense of inner monologue? To be fair, I've been rambling without any sense of inner monologue these past few nights until 6 a.m. I really need to stop talking to people that late. Huh? No, I'm just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the nickel samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? I'm going to have to, aren't I? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the nickel samurai spare costume to the hotel was... I have all kinds of theories right now. Oh, hey, Lake, how you doing? I have all kinds of theories right now. I have the, there's a theory of, 1, he brought the spare costume because he is actually the real Nickel Samurai, and he plays both the Jamming Ninja and the Nickel Samurai, and that Matt Enguarde never actually played the Nickel Samurai. He just is the face of the Nickel Samurai. Option 2. He brought it because he wanted to commit suicide after losing the Hero of Heroes award to Matt Enguarde. He was so disappointed that he killed himself, and he wanted to frame Matt Enguarde for it. A third option. Someone put it there for him. I don't know. Those are my 3 theories at the moment. You also fell asleep after you stopped and just woke up. Oh, no worries, man. If you're tired, you're tired. Sleep all you need. I never expect anyone to be around here unless they want to, you know? Let's see. Wait a second! I just realized something! Matt Enguarde and even his manager had no idea what the press conference ticket was all about. What if the press conference was actually set up by Juan Kurita and he was going to be the one who confesses something at the ceremony? That's a huge leap of faith, but the last one's a last bit of a leap too, so, and I don't have anything else to work with, so... Screw it! I saved already, let's go.
What is this?
Oh my god, it was! I predicted it! Yes! Gamer points! On the night of the murder, after the stage show, The Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. I knew it!
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ongard himself said he had no idea what he was supposed— Yes! I had the right line of thought! Let's go! No idea was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself. Let's go!
The victim?
Yes, the spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very convenience. Mr. Carita was going to hold this press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Carita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Miss Matt Ongard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that is the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you're pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What?
And do you know what the secret of Mr. Ongard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all.
Protect Mr. Ongard?
And yet again,
Another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
yes, Your Honor, I understand. The more we dive into this case, the more I'm confused about what's going on with Andrews about all this. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. We still have no idea what's up with that stupid seashell card of hers and the fact that Maya came across it when she escaped her prison. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
That does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Oh boy, how close are we to the end of this? Looks like somehow everything has swung into the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was a murderer. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. You want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? Pep, gusto, and pep? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. If you think these three things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach us that in school. In class, they didn't teach us this. At least not from what I remember. May I continue? Aw man, I completely forgot the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX theme song music now. In class, they never taught us this. Something something? Ah, shoot. Something something this? Whatever. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. So, would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Engard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. Engard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Well...
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information is not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Has Mr. Engard done anything to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Corito with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Engard. Yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. Engard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Oh, I ask myself every day, Phoenix, believe me. But didn't you already testify earlier that Engard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover up for Mr. Engard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
Ow, Judge. That hurt. Tell us what you really feel. The judge is glaringly straightforward at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? Button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found in the pleats of Matt Takuma, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Ugh. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Wait, can Mia actually read our minds? I mean, I know she's technically a spirit right now possessing Pearl's body, but still.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
That button was torn off with Juan during his fight with Matt. And how do you know that? When the ends of the threads and the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Or so I heard. I heard that one before. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not.
Ugh, and here I thought I had heard this time for sure.
There's something on... if there's anything to trip her up, it has to be here. But where and what? But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time! Who's to say she's really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Ongard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Krita planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Ongard as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will toward the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright Wax Philosophical Power Hour. You're right, this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And please stop slandering the witness. Jesus, we've went from 116 to 128 in the past, like, hour or so.
As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more.
You should know this by now.
But you need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk. I'm going to pin you down this time, Miss Andrews. Oh, I'm sure a lot of people wish to pin her down. What? We're actually going to surpass the 210 mark? That's insane if true. I thought we were going to finish this way before 200.
How do you know about the fight?
His motive. I don't think we really have a motive, much of a motive either to set up for him either. So there's no point in trying to get more information out of that with the... I don't think I have much to work with here. The best I got is the button, but like, what can I say about the button? There's still a lot to the case to go? Are you serious? Yeesh. Am I at least close to a to be continued point so I can call the stream? Because like, I have like less than a minute left of the stream runtime before my alarm goes off. Let's see. It can either be the Jamming Ninjas button or the autopsy report. There's really not much more we can work with in regards to the button. Maybe the knife? The problem with this is the fact that it also features Ongard's fingerprints. You're about halfway between the previous save point and the next one. Alright, let's see if we can go for another half hour, I guess. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the button, but like, what info do I have to work with in regards to that? You know what? Okay, I think... Yeah, you know what? As much as I'd like to continue with the rest of this case, as soon as I present this evidence, I think I'm gonna call the stream because, not gonna lie, I have eaten literally nothing all day today and I am starving. I think I should call the stream soon. Sorry guys, I would love to continue with to the next continue point, but honestly, I'm getting a little lightheaded. Alright, so, that makes no sense, though. He would have to have been strangled first. Okay, good. I got it right. 175 thereabout. Fair enough. This is the victim's autopsy report. Clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. Oh, thank God I realized that.
What does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This one has the victim's blood on it, which means that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off off of the victim's already dead body.
Order! Order! What is the meaning?
What is the meaning of this, right? Oh my God, Edgeworth. Literally, no one's going to let the judge have a moment to speak, will they? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
Well, obviously, pin the crime on guard. Yo, Skylar. How you doing, man? Oh, Twitch has been borked for you? That's awful to hear. Sorry about that, man. Everyone seems to be having issues with Twitch lately. There is one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone could have a bloodied button. Oh my God, that's a tongue twister. Bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up by the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is, well, Mr. Wright? Who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is...
Oh wait, that was Phoenix. I have my theories, and I might be right. Let's go! Right. Which of these four doesn't belong here? Up, down, left, right. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start? Right? Thank you. I feel so much better. I'm relieved to know that you can at least pick out that much out. I worry about you. You seem to fail every time you try to make logical sense. Or in other words, think before you speak, Phoenix. Rip. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. You know what? That's perfectly timed too, because I did say I was going to call the stream though. Alright. Well, we're going to end on a game over for now, and we'll worry about this next time. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. This was really fun, as per usual. You guys were great. Thank you. With that said, the next Ace Attorney stream will be tomorrow night, assuming I'm not busy doing co-coms with someone else. We shall see. If there's any changes to the schedule, you can find me on Twitter at NoLimit42, where I post stream updates and general shenanigans. Alternatively, join us on you can join us in our Discord server, where we talk about anything and everything. We're a very friendly bunch, guys. I hope you guys can tell. That being said, though, let's go find a raid target. And who do we want to raid right now? And oh shoot, I did not, what happened just now? Raid right now. And I have the screen muted. Why the heck does it become unmuted? That was weird. Okay. Let's see, who is streaming now? What would be a good raid message as well? How about... Decisions. Ooh, I know exactly who I'm going to be raiding, but what should be the raid message? Raid message will be, how about... You know what, considering how we've been hanging on with literally 1 HP, how about hanging on by 1 HP. That'll be our raid message, and we will be raiding my buddy Blackstar258, aka Mark. He's currently streaming Mario Sunshine, so I'll send you guys his direction. With that said, though, thank y'all for coming out tonight. This was lots of fun. I'll catch y'all next time, though. Have a good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.